Okay, welcome. Bleh, 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 bleh. Try that again. Okay, welcome back, you filthy exiles. Or in this case of this video, welcome you new filthy exiles. So, in the coming weeks leading up into the Heist League, and I know that everyone's looking forward to it because it looks freaking dope. I'm going to do some beginner videos pretty much starting from the very start. And the very start is knowing your options and how to set your game up. And that tends to be a little bit of an issue at the very start. And there are some things that you should know. And that's what we're going to look at right now. So this is going to be your options menu for anyone who's new to the game. Now I'll let you figure out how you're going to set up your graphics options. You can use that, use mine as a bit of a guide. Leave dynamic resolution on, first point. That's probably number one. That will basically, as you get any sort of server desync, frame drop or anything like that, it'll passively basically set the resolution down to increase frames. So leave that on, you'll get better performance. Bloom effects are basically just the pop on everything, so you can increase that to make things look prettier or whatever. I've just got mine set at, well, it was 99, now it's 100%. Anti-aliasing, all that shit's pretty much the standard. The most important thing about this, so sound you can do whatever you want with, it's really up to you. UI settings, so this is pretty much where you're going to do the biggest hard-hitting amount of shit. So I've got mine set to lockstep. You want to keep it on lockstep, don't change that. Screen shake will be by default set to on or enabled. Disable that shit. Screen shake will F you up, and if you watch streamers or anyone else who produces content, nobody really uses screen shake because it's quite annoying. But if you want to feel like you're powerful, you can keep screen shake on. Camera rotation effects, that's just where you'll be doing the Valentia, or that's for certain end bosses have that effect. I've just got it left on because it's cool. It's a new feature that came in. Enable quest tracking, always good to have quest tracking on to see where you are. Never really worried about auto centering map, and map transparency is really up to you. Map zoom really never matters to me, but you can do whatever. Now you want to have always highlight on, and that will be just basically highlight objectives and things like that. And always show sockets. So if you turn this off, it will turn all the sockets off, and then you'll have to go over. Most people have this clicked on. Now key pickup, you want to disable this. If you don't have this disabled, you won't be able to pick items up unless you use a particular key, and that's a pain in the ass. So normally I have that disabled. Show flask buffs and aura icons, usually have all of that on. Show mana and life levels, that basically shows, I think it shows little bars and whatnot on shit. Yeah, and then obviously show trade chat's a bit of a pain in the ass, and there's a lot of con artists in there too, so I usually have that off. And global chat, things like that, really depends on what you want to do. In the case of my setup, I have mini life bars on enemies, so I can see enemy life bars. You don't really need a life bar on you because you've got a life pool there. Ally names on map, I usually show that. I show clock because we all tend to play the game excessively. You can auto hide tabs now, that's with your stash tabs. So if we go to our stash, there we go, we don't want to save. So if you've got that on auto hide, this is in a league, so oh no, it's not in league. So if you've got these remove only tabs, that'll basically hide all of those tabs, so you won't be able to see them. Wouldn't suggest that if you play standard league, but not the majority play standard league anyway. Advanced mod descriptions on, you want to keep that on. Auto equip, unless you're playing face breakers, you don't need auto equip. If you are playing face breaker build, and if you know what that is, basically it's a set of gloves that basically give you an unarmed multiplier. You can turn that off, and that will stop you from picking up weapons as you play through maps. But unless otherwise stated, keep that on. Outside of that, support utility gem pop-ups, I've got that clicked on. Now default loot allocations are when you're partying. So, you can have permanent allocations. Free-for-all I generally keep on because, it's really contingent on who does damage to what and how the RNG rolls in maps. And if you've got an honest party that you're playing with, normally free-for-all is fine. If you're running rotors and whatnot, maybe you want to change that. Depends on the scrupulousness of the people in your party. Level downscaling, I never worry about that. Can't be fucked. That only counts if you're partying. Chat font normal, box width whatever. Now, list of loot filters. This is a key one. I'm going to do a separate video on this next. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Everything else is up to you, how you want to set it. If you want to change your binds, you can set your binds in there like any other game. Normally, I change my user bound to bind because I have a side mouse. That'll normally be your middle mouse. You can do whatever you want with that. And notifications, I just leave everything on. Anyway, that's your basic menu setup. This is, I guess, part one of this beginner guide. I'm not even going to put an intro video on. If this helps you as a beginner and get you started on what you need to do, you know, like and sub. And yeah, until the next video. So part two, we'll look at loot filters and I'll show you how to get that working. Until then, have a good one and yeah, bye.